Hello, Crafty Clan! Did you know there is a free keyword tool that's available to everyone that helps to show the search volume for certain keywords? No matter if you're selling your art online, you're making videos, you're running websites, there is a free keyword tool, but you're probably using it wrong. So, let me introduce you to Google Trends and let me know in the comments below, is this a tool that you've used in the past? Did you find it helpful or were you very confused by it? Did it seem to give some really bad advice? Let's dive into it, have a look at this. I'm going to explain how awesome it is and why you're using it wrong. So, this is Google Trends, trends.google.com/trends, basically. And this is the first page you hit, and it says, explore what the world is searching, enter a search term or a topic. So let's do that. Ooh, typing's not my thing. Let's go with this. So wire wrapped ring, a lot of people make kind of jewelry, they make videos on this kind of thing. So what's the search volume like for this? Can we shrink this down so everyone can actually see it? That's a bit better. Okay, so this is what we see when we see wire wrapped ring, and that looks really crazy confusing, doesn't it? Well, first of all, let's look into what we've got along the top here. There's loads of filters which are really handy, so you can pick the country. I'm going to say worldwide. If you're selling things or if you're making videos or something, you probably want to see worldwide. You can see past 12 months up to, I think it's about 5 years. Yeah, 2004 to present, up to 5 years. Tons of data, but let's just do the past 12 months because it's always handy to know. You get to choose categories that people are searching for, but that's really not all that important anymore. And if we're doing a web search or if people are doing an image search, news search, Google Shopping, or a YouTube search. So it's really handy. You can look at where on Google people are searching for this keyword term. Now, you would look at wire wrapped ring and you're going to say, hey, on Google, that is pretty good. Okay, it was in June, it was doing a little bit better, and over time, it's dropping away a bit. But overall, there's a search trend there. That's pretty good, isn't it? And people would say, well, wire wrapped ring is a good search term, so we're going to go with this. Get more into that in a second. Let's just run down. You can even say the region. So Belgium searches for wire wrapped ring the most, then United States and United Kingdom. So you get an idea of the locations. That is interesting. And then some related topics and related queries. So it might give you an idea when people are searching for a wire wrapped ring, sometimes they're searching for a wire wrapped crystal ring. And some topics. That is handy. So we've got some stuff. Depending on what you search, you might even see some different things in there. But yeah, that's interesting. So we think this is good. But let's look at the scale on this graph. This is what most people don't really look at. It goes from 0 to 100. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean good? Does that mean bad? It's actually a comparative tool. So that's really a percent. That is saying that in the past 12 months, the highest people searching, the most people at all searching for wire wrapped ring happened between the 4th and the 10th of July last year. And then let's pick another time. At the 26th of December, if that was 100% back then, now the search volume is like less than 30% of what it was. So if 100 people were searching, 30 people are searching now. But it's not 100 people or 30 people searching now. We don't know the numbers. It's a comparative tool. Google does not tell us the actual volume, so we don't know. We know looking at this that some people are searching, but is this good or is this bad? So if we compared this to something much more broad, let's just say ring, you can put in different search terms. Now, if we compare this to ring, then this is doing the comparison of when people are searching. So here is the 100, the 100%, the top. This is the maximum of when people were searching for a ring. So the 27th of February to the 5th of March. So yeah, that could be engagements or something, but there was a big spike. And in comparison to that search volume, in comparison to the number of people that were searching for ring there, wire-wrapped ring is less than 1% of that volume of people searching. That is a very unusual, massive spike. But as we can see, even in normal times, wire-wrapped ring is so tiny as to be insignificant compared to ring. So you might have thought you found a great keyword, but it's not necessarily all that great. And I see people do this all the time with, say, their shop name or something. So if I did this, well, let's do needle felted dog. A lot of, oh, wow. I've already got that. I'm an idiot. Right. A lot of you do needle felting. I do needle felting. So we'd look at that and we'd say, let's I want to sell these things. I don't want to make them. So let's look at Google Shopping for needle felted dog. Okay, it's too vague. So let's just do the whole of the web search. Quite often people don't use the extra tabs and go into Google Shopping or something. They'll just get what they see on the homepage. So the fact that something doesn't have a volume in Google Shopping doesn't really mean much. Most people don't shop on Google Shopping. But we can look at that and I can say, hey, needle felted dog is perhaps quite a good little term. I mean, let's for funsies, let's have a look at what it's been like over the 5 years. Come on. So yeah, it's got searches all the time. It had a peak in 2019, but yeah, it seems fairly steady. It's doing well. But if we compare it to a keyword that I know people do look for, and what happens here? Exactly what we expected. Although you can see there's some search volume for needle felted dog. You can see a little bit, but if I was looking for a keyword, I would have to really think and look into this a little bit more to see if this tiny amount of search volume is worth it, if it's something I can maybe rank for, if it's maybe got a high enough people searching for it. But you can definitely see the difference. If both of those had the same amount of competition, the same amount of listings in a shop, or the same amount of videos or something, then I would most definitely want to go for dog sculpture over needle felted dog. That's comparatively, there's a huge difference. So you do not want to just look at the one search term and say, oh yes, there's search volume, that looks pretty good. That's not telling you enough. This Google Trends is a comparative tool. That's why it says here, it wants you to compare one search term with another rather than just look up one search term, because it's not giving you the search volume, it's giving you the comparative search volume. Now, it's still a very useful tool. It's really cool to know the location where people are searching, to get an idea if you've thought of a new keyword and you have another keyword that's doing really well for you. You can compare the two and say, hey, is this one better or is it worse? It gives you an idea. But I would always say look into other tools, and look, always, whenever you're doing any kind of keyword research, it's experimentation. You can't find a keyword and say, yes, this is the very one that's going to do great for me. It's experimentation. Whatever you're creating, if you're making a blog, if you have an Etsy shop, if you're making YouTube videos, if you're doing websites, always be thinking, you can make another page, you can make another listing, you can make another video. So aim for a keyword, maybe do a few items around that keyword. So you've got your peg in the sand for Google to say, hey, I exist here, or whatever website you're on. So you've given it a fair chance, but not every keyword you identify is going to work, because where you rank in search just about anywhere now, depends on how people interact with what you've created. So, yeah, if what you've created doesn't resonate well with the people when they search, then you won't rank in search for very long. You've got to be good. you've got you've got to be good and answer the question that people have asked. So whatever the reason for why they were searching for the thing, if your item is relevant for that and people like it when they find it and it helps them in the way they wanted to be helped, whether it was entertained, find good stuff to buy, or answer a question, then if your item does that, then it's likely to do better. But you've got to find the well, always be experimenting, always be testing. Anyway, I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.